So the Pope has declared a war on AI. Not exactly. Hi, my name is Garnet. I read Magnifica Humanitas, and here are some of the spark notes of what the Pope has said about AI. So all the headlines are talking about the Pope calling for a disarmament of AI. While that is true, there's much more context to what the Pope said. So yes, the Pope called for a disarmament of AI, but what he calls disarmament is not what people are gleaning from these headlines. In fact, in the encyclical, he says that to disarm does not mean rejecting technology, but preventing it from dominating humanity. The Catholic Church maintains its stance that technology is neutral and can be used for good and bad. So what exactly does he mean by disarming AI? He lists out a few ways that we can disarm AI. Part of it is discrediting the assumption that technological power means the right to govern. Hello, Peter Thiel. He also talks about opening up AI to discussion and debate, especially to the communities who are going to be affected by AI decisions, making AI human friendly, and restoring AI to the plurality of human cultures. Here he is touching on that aspect of AI causing monocultures all over the world. So he's not necessarily calling for a stop in the use of AI, but rather he's calling for developers of AI to develop in a way that benefits the common good and upholds social justice values. In fact, the theme of social justice is very strong throughout the encyclical, which once again is similar to what was said in Antiqua et Nova, which is the Catholic Church's previous announcement on AI and human intelligence that came out in 2025. Other takeaways for me are that the Pope states that AI is actually a valuable tool, but it requires vigilance. And he talks about 3 areas that require a lot of vigilance. The first one is that AI makes work a lot easier. And he highlights the good of this, which is that it makes life easier, but he emphasizes that this could cause over-reliance. Second area of vigilance is the impression of objectivity. Technology has historically been seen by people as a neutral and objective tool, and hence people would prefer to use tools like AI for decision making. But he is keen on noting that there's a lot of automation bias and that technology is biased based on the developer. And he calls for developers to really look at this aspect and emphasize that AI is not objective. The third area is a simulation of human communication. Once again, this is similar to what Catholic Church stated in Antiqua et Nova. Human companionship is an area of concern for the Church in general. And once again, he highlights that yes, the simulation of human communication in AI can be good. The simulation of empathy can be good, but this is not real. This is just a simulation, and that there's a danger in artificial companionship. Once again, the Pope states that AI is not morally neutral, emphasizes that there should be accountability at every stage, and humans need to be responsible for decisions made. There's a lot I could talk about in this encyclical, but I'd urge you to read it